Daniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Tej pack. Tej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliate and scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun. And a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tej Henley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tej Henley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tej Henley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tej Henley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tej pack. Feel the Tej, my friends. Good morning, friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Welcome to the Millionaire Morning Show. Awesome day. Absolutely phenomenal day. Sun is out. Weather is great. What more can you ask for? We got another opportunity, another 24 hours to be able to do great things. Bag Chasers is winning. Tej Henley is providing 30% off plus a free gift for uncomplicated skin for men. Bag Chasers is winning in the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We got a Patreon Build a Business live stream this weekend in the Patreon for those of you that are not familiar. Putting up a bunch of money to make sure that everybody understands exactly what it takes to build a brick and mortar. In addition to standing up the e-commerce section of what that business is. What more can you ask for outside of a bad chick that is on her purpose, making sure that she's pouring into you, ensuring that she's the helpmeet that she needs? All you need is a successful marriage. What, we got that too? Shout out to the Bag Chasers. Shout out to Q. We did Q&A last night. It was absolutely awesome. Shout out to the Lapeef Network. We did the Lapeef Network event over the weekend, this past weekend, and that was awesome. I don't even know where I'm going to be this weekend. I may be in a completely different state or country this weekend. You never know. So welcome to the Millionaire Morning Show. We got a lot on our plate. Yo, B, what up, B? I ain't seen B in a while. Not on the morning show. I'll be coaching B. Me and B be having personal conversations, but I love to see B. Shout out to B and her son. I love you. We love you here as Bag Chaser. But no, seriously, make sure you following me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Got new videos coming out today. And I got an exclusive video coming this afternoon or tomorrow morning in the Patreon for a Patreon exclusive, specifically detailing and highlighting different portions in my life, showing you more, giving you more, making sure that you understand how you can move more effectively in order to be successful. I'll show you how I navigate my day from corporate America all the way to the different businesses, to the different meetings. I'm taking you into a more immersive experience so that you can understand how you can be successful. So I want y'all to make sure that y'all getting that information. And that link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And if you want to kick it with me personally, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. When you join the Bag Chasers, make sure you tap into the Discord also, because you want to align yourself with a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going in. So again, we got the Patreon exclusive dropping within the next 36 hours. We have the Build a Business meeting. I dropped the latest details in the last video before I dropped this video of where we're doing the Patreon meetup, our next meetup. You know, I fly to a different place pretty much every month so I can pour into y'all in person. And if you got any questions, send me that message in the Patreon or Discord, or you can email me and we're going to get you popping. So anyways, what's going on, friends? I see y'all in the chat. I see Jay Ali, Azriel, Jay Ben. I see my dog Kojak, Natasha, Stephen Day, Alina, all of my friends. What's happening? What's going on? This is what I need people to do. I know that I already emphasize this in the Bag Chasers group, but this is what I need people to do. I need you guys to get outside. I genuinely do, right? And I know that maybe 6 months ago, maybe a lot longer, actually, it's probably more like 9 months ago, I was contemplating possibly quitting this corporate position because they were talking about coming back into the office. Now, it is 100% optional. It's 100% optional. And you do not have to go into the office. I do not have to go into the office, but I make sure that pretty much every afternoon, I may take a Thursday or a Friday when I'm taking a flight somewhere or something like that. But pretty much every afternoon after the Millionaire Morning Show, I go on, I put on my slacks. You're going to see it in the Patreon exclusive video. I'm going to take you through the deep dive. But I get up, I put on my slacks, put on my button-up shirt, and I make sure that I head into the office every day. I do. And it's awesome, right? You don't even realize how awesome it was to get out and about and participate in society until you don't. Now, I know that there's people that work multiple remote positions and things like that that I coach. That's the exception. For the overwhelming majority of us, though, a lot of y'all are just chilling. You're working your job, you're having conversations, you get up, you get coffee, and you don't do anything. And so you're kind of losing your mojo a little bit, and you don't even realize that you've settled into a routine that is actually bad for you. Now, again, I think that there are exceptions, especially when you're running multiple businesses and things like that. But even in that instance, get outside. Go work from a different location. Even if you just want to stay local, go to a coffee shop, go to an event, go to an environment that once you get off of work, you can just walk right over into doing something else. You know, the way to really fix the economy and fix making sure that we support small business, because small business is the backbone of anything that we're doing in the United States of America. It's not Amazon. It's not the big corporations. It's not. The people that generate the most jobs and the most revenue, and the best way to evaluate whether or not an economy is healthy and strong is to look at small business. It's not looking at the GDP. It's not looking at inflation. It's none of that. Like, we know that inflation at 9.1%, and we should be getting an update on that soon. We know what inflation is doing. We know what homes are doing. We know what layoffs are coming, and Ford and Tesla and Coinbase and Netflix and all of these different places. But if you really want to understand what's going on in the economy, you need to go outside. Small business is the foundation and the backbone of what America is. That's where the majority of the jobs are generated. And you can't have a healthy economy when everybody is working from home, because then you're going to complain, well, Amazon is eating everything up and Walmart is taking over all of the small businesses and putting the popping, mom and pop stores out of business. But in reality, you not being outside means that small business will die. I talked about this yesterday, right? And let me break it down, right? When I go out into the office, even when, and I walk through every floor, right? I'm walking through and I'm looking to see who's here, because it's a multi-level approach and it's extra benefits that come along with it. When I walk through the office, most of the executives are there. And it's not that they can't work from home. It's they understand that they have to showcase a level of leadership. And there's some other things, but I'm not going to go into that because I talk about it in the Patreon. But most of the executive leadership, depending on which day of the week you go, are there. And then you see a dot here or there of a different worker that may come in just to show themselves or to get out of their environment, or whatever is happening, right? And so we have these collab sessions, design thinking sessions, breakout sessions. And a lot of times executive leadership likes to dip in, and I like to dip in, and I go and see who's there and I go and speak. But you getting that visibility then makes you much more available, or we think of you when things happen, or you get the priority. And it's very much a network. It's politics. All of it matters. It's not just what you do in your job and then you complain, oh, I didn't get the promotion, I was passed over. Well, you're not visible. Nobody sees you. How can you get the promotion when you're not familiar with the person that's actually pulling for the job? How can you get it? Whole nother conversation. I don't want to deep dive into that. More importantly, we always order out lunch. We go and get stuff. Now imagine how things used to be when these corporate environments were thriving and people were there, and all of the other businesses that thrive as a result of what happens around it. And then when everything shut down and people never went back to work, all of the businesses around these corporate offices and environments and downtowns, they started to become desolate. They died. Because if nobody is there, then how can they survive? How can they hire more workers? How can they buy more materials? How can they expand their business? How can they spend more money and put more revenue into the environment that would allow for a city to thrive? If I was in charge of any government office, whether it be cities, states, and all of that other type of stuff, I would work with large businesses to make sure that employees went back into the office. Y'all would hate me because I would do the thing that made sure that you were successful, even if it's against how you felt. It's not about what you feel, it's about what's best. And I would incentivize businesses to make sure that workers came back into the office. And that's one of the reasons why these cities give tax breaks for people to come back into, or for jobs to be built into the offices, because it's an ecosystem. It's like an ocean, right? Everything and everyone serves a purpose in ensuring that everybody else is successful. And this is why when you guys vote, and I know y'all don't like local elections and anything like that, anything that's not advertised, you're not going to participate. That's why it's important for you to vote in your local elections, because the people that are going to be in office shouldn't be community leaders. They shouldn't be people that look like you. They shouldn't be people that you like or is telling you that you can run in the Victim Olympics and we're going to give you a handout. It's the people that understand commerce, business, politics, how things work when it comes to everything, ensuring that everything else is successful, because one without the other then creates a cog that slows down what it is that we're trying to do. When you go over to Miami and you go over to New York, the reason why New York is still thriving despite the fact that they have high taxes and bad weather is because they have a lot of people and they outside. They're participating. They're going into the office. And often at times, those people are the ones that are the most successful, both in corporate and when it comes to their social lives. How can you become successful if you don't have a conversation with people and the only thing that you ever do is stay in your little bubble? The keys to success is not what you have to do when it comes to making sure that you get the revenue, i.e. go to work, make sure you pay your bills. That's not the key to success. The key to success is what happens after the workday ends. Every day, every single day that I am not live streaming earlier in the day, I am outside. Weekends, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I am outside. I am meeting people. I'm having conversations. I'm exchanging information. I'm following up. You don't know nothing about that. You got 100 contacts in your phone, 100,000 contacts, and you don't even know who half of them are. I'm following up. I'm building relationships. When things pop off, they think of me. When a business opportunity pop off, they think of me. When an investment opportunity pop off, they think of me. When a person goes into a different position at a different company and they need somebody to stand up that part of their business, they think of me. And then people are wondering, well, Anton, how are you so successful? It's because I have no fear of people. I have no fear of having conversations with other people that would then foster a relationship that I then have inside of my network. People ask me all the time, they say, Anton, how did you get successful? How did you build a network? How do you do your content creation? One fucking person at a time. One person at a time. I built my network. Every single relationship and every conversation matters. If anybody has ever met me, Whether it be at a Patreon meetup, you ran into me at a city, I flew into your state, whatever it is, you see me at the airport, you know that I look you in your eye, I shake your hand, I'm genuinely curious about what your name is, what you do for a living, how do you know me, how can we connect, and then I ask you, how can I pour into you? What is it that you need from me? You be a complete stranger, like you felt like you knew me better than you knew your own family and your own mama. By the time that we get off that plane, if you sit next to me in first class, if I see that you're not trying to rest, if you seem like the type of person that's looking to have a conversation, we're going to be best friends by the time that we get off that plane. When I go into an environment, I am going to take it over one way or another. And it ain't about being loud. It's about being social. It's about being likable. It's about being coachable. It's about being the person that you would want somebody else to work with. But a lot of you don't care for that because you're not nurturing that side of yourself. And that's the most important part of winning. Most people, even, listen, take the highest earners in society. And we're going to get into the show. I'm sorry. You know I get onto these rants. Take the highest earning people in society, right? Even when you look at athletes, and we're going to break down the athlete because I got a great athlete at the end of the show, and we're going to break down how he spent his first $1 million. We're going to go with the normal show. But take your favorite athlete, right? No matter how much money they made. Michael Jordan in the 90s was making $30 million a year plus. In the 90s, just off of his basketball contract, account for inflation, he killing these dudes today, was making $30 million plus. Michael Jordan is much more successful outside of basketball than inside. LeBron James has earned more outside of basketball than inside. You use your talent and what it is that you do for a living in order to get in the door, right? Without basketball, we don't know LeBron James, but it's what he did after he got the opportunity that's going to determine how successful it is. Yeah, you can go off and you can go and live your life and you can go and be regular and just spend your time and retire, but that's boring. That's like dying, right? Why would you just want to sit around and do nothing? I did that. I retired in 2019. I said, you know what? I had a couple months. Let's get back into this business game. It's what you do outside of the time that you're required to earn in order to make sure that you feed yourself that determines what you're going to be and how you're going to be successful. It's not about what happens between the 9 to 5. It's what happens between 6 to 10. After 11:45, make sure you get your ass in the house. Ain't nothing out there but the devil. Shout out to Zotang TV. He says, Jaguar, F-Type R, AMG GTs, or BMW M8. I like AMG GTs. AMG is the best option out of all those. I've driven a Type R. Y'all seen the videos. BMW M8, absolutely phenomenal. Go with the AMG. Q Ali says, Anton. Gotta say, Anton, you are absolutely right about this one. Must create action every day. They'll tell you. They will tell you. You got to get outside if you want to be successful. I'm just giving you the game. All right, so let's get into the show. Again, link to the Patreon is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure you tap in. If you need to kick it with me personally, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. I am going to get you set up for a Zoom session or a phone call. It's your choice, but I want to make sure that I pour into you so that you are successful, all right? Trump. Let's talk about Trump, y'all. Let's talk about Trump. Shout out to the accountability partner. He says, showing some love to the hardest working man on YouTube. Keep grinding, my boy. We appreciate you, and I appreciate you more, accountability partner. I appreciate you more, my friend. Thank you to all of the super chats, the cash apps, everybody that hold me down. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are awesome. Let's talk about Trump really quickly, y'all. Let's talk about Trump. I want to deep dive because obviously this broke yesterday, right? And it's a lot of conversation that's happening about what's going on with Trump. And I'm going to give you my honest to God thoughts, right? Let me see what they're talking about on live news.
Take it that he was the ultimate authority there.
Trump is, in my opinion, well, let me see what they're saying really quickly.
Night that the FBI was raiding his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida, and he said that FBI agents broke into a safe while they were there. The circumstances of the search were not immediately clear. The Justice Department has been investigating the discovery of classified information found in boxes at that estate, boxes of records that were taken to Mar-a-Lago after the president left the White House when his term ended. This is a dramatic escalation in the law enforcement scrutiny of the former president. And it comes as he's been preparing to lay the groundwork for another campaign for the White House in 2024. We have not heard yet from the Justice Department about the search, including whether Attorney General Merrick Garland personally authorized this activity. We are not aware of this ever happening to a current or former president before. This is just one more event in the line of extraordinary events that President Trump's tenure in the White House has produced.
I believe that
we do not know when the raid occurred, but Donald Trump said in his statement that it occurred Monday. We do not believe he was there at the time. We understand that he was in New York City at Trump Tower when this occurred.
You know, I think of Trump. When I think of Trump, I honestly think of a mob boss. I think of a mob boss. And let me give you my thoughts on Trump in a general sense, okay? Matter of fact, I'm going to be very, very candid, and I know a lot of y'all are going to get bothered by this because, you know, one way or another, this rubs both sides the wrong way. One way or another, what I'm about to say right now rubs both sides the wrong way. But I'm going to be absolutely honest because I have no care whatsoever. I'm going to be absolutely, positively real because that's who I am and that's what you guys come here for, right? Let me move myself over to this side of the thing. I'm going to occasionally jump in and see what they're talking about live just to, you know, kind of get an idea of exactly what it is that they're saying if they break in any new information because this is live, right? I actually voted for Trump in this latest election. 2020 election, I did. I voted for Trump. I believe that he was the best option. I believe that he still was the best option when compared to Biden. In the 2016 election, I voted for Hillary Clinton. Now, I voted for Hillary Clinton, and I had a video on this. I voted for Hillary Clinton because I didn't believe that he actually believed that he was going to win. And I believed that at the time that he was running, it was just an opportunity for him to continue to promote himself, right? Any visibility at the time. And I still believe that. I believe that Trump was an accidental president. I believe that when he originally threw his hat in the ring, he was not actually taking serious that he was going to become the president of the United States of America. And so I didn't take it serious. You know, Trump is very smart. He's very visible. He knows how to promote himself. He is a master at marketing. Nobody can deny him that. He is also a master at making sure that he gets all of the write-offs available in order to ensure that he does not pay more taxes than he has to legally. Cool, right? So I don't think that he genuinely was looking to become president, but I think that something happened. It was a shift. And that's the thing, right? You can never predict these things, and you can't even predict the market. How can you predict who's going to become president of the United States? He threw his hat in the ring. He said some stuff that I thought that was going to create more visibility for himself, but it actually resonated with the people because he said the truth. He said what he really felt. This has nothing to do with him as a person. This has nothing to do with whether or not he likes to grab pussy. He just said it. He was real. He said, listen, black people, your shit been fucked up for a long time. If you go into your schools and your neighborhoods, you've been having all of these people come in that's coming in and saying they don't promise you this and running you in the victim Olympics. You might as well try it my way. You ain't got nothing else to lose. You fucked up anyway. And then black people got upset. And then I was thinking to myself, that's kind of real though. It's kind of real. And then he backed up what he said. He, worked on behalf of HBCUs, and he continue to give them more funding that they've ever had in the entire existence of these HBCUs, but it was glossed over and nobody cared about it. If we just gonna be real, let's keep it 100, right? I can acknowledge that he renegotiated NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, and he put some pressure on Canada and Mexico. Started putting fucking pressure on China and said, we're gonna go into this trade war because, it's too far on your side, and I know it's going to be some pain on the U.S. side. And if we really want to look at it, Biden didn't remove the tariffs that Trump implemented in order to ignite this trade war. They're still in place today. The thing that they campaigned against is the thing that they're still embracing because they know that it was the thing that was best for us. Let me hear a little bit more of what they're saying right now, and then I'm going to come back to my narrative.
Trump announced in a statement he put out Monday night that the FBI was raiding his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. And he said that FBI agents broke into a safe while they were there. The circumstances of the search were not immediately clear. The Justice Department has been investigating the discovery of classified information found in boxes at that estate, boxes of records that were taken to Mar-a-Lago after the president left the White House when his term ended.
So, again, he did a lot of things that I agreed with. Shout out to Rayshawn. Rayshawn says, Anton, you speaking facts. I'd be surprised by the value that can come from a conversation. Talking about networking effectively. Let's deep dive, right? A lot of people were upset because they're not used to somebody talking candid. But then another thing happened while he was president, right? You had what I like to call incels. We like to say red pill incels on the internet when we talk about guys that can't get no pussy, but they always complaining about modern women, right? And so they start to hate women instead of trying to understand how they can be more successful with them. That's a whole nother conversation. But there were some other incels. We saw more poor white people come out of the woodwork than we ever seen before in our lives. You got the Proud Boys. Bro, here in Michigan, these motherfuckers was actually trying to set up the governor, which I don't like the governor of Michigan hurt myself, but they was trying to set up the governor of Michigan to get wiped out. They was trying to kidnap the governor of Michigan. What the fuck? The overrunning of the Capitol building. Come on, man. If we just gonna look at it for what it is and keep it a buck, there was a lot of good and a lot of bad. Taxes had changed. I made more money than I ever made in my life. But then at the same time, he removed some of the things. I believe that climate change is real. And anybody that says that it's not, that's your perspective. But I believe that humans are manufacturing an extreme event that's happening on this planet that it's not going to affect us in our lifetime, but it's going to affect our kids. The farming of animals for human consumptions put up more methane gas, which affects the environment, and it's absolutely bad, right? Our dependence on foreign oil is bad. And you can't just continue to pump more oil on U.S. soil in order to solve the problem. There has to be a dual approach. Yes, do this, but at the same time, you need to be pushing for that, right? And we all gonna have disagreements when it comes to political things, right? I'm not necessarily saying that I'm right. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just identifying the things that I see as why I voted for him the second time, because I felt like he was the better option considering what we were going through at the time. Obviously, the majority of America felt differently. Nobody's going to admit that they voted for Biden. Cool. But here's my assessment today. Trump today is very much unelectable. Despite the fact that I voted for him in 2020, despite the fact that I acknowledge some of the greatness that he's done, there is a better option in my personal opinion. And DeSantis, which is the governor of Florida, who I believe is the best governor, very much embodies all of the honesty and keeping it real and doing the thing that is best for the American people. And DeSantis, the guy that I think that embodies all of the good that Trump is, that I acknowledge, but removes himself from all of the bad that comes along with having Trump visible as a president. Representation matters. Who you are as a person matters, right? We can go out. Let me break it down like this. We can go out and we can get business advice from somebody that's successful in business, right? A dope dealer and him understanding the supply chain, buying and selling and what it is that you need in order to be successful. A dope dealer understands logistics just as good as an executive at a corporation. However, one of the reasons why we don't want dope dealers as a representation of who we are is because image matters. Who you are matters. How you go about doing it matters. And it's just too much, right? It's too much. The reason that we release our taxes, the reason why I show you my bank account, the reason why I show you my family is because I want you to understand who I am as a person, as a character. You cannot, listen, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know who's setting who up. I don't know none of that. The one thing that I do know, though, is that you cannot be having the FBI raiding your cribs and think that that's cool and that's a good representation of what we're supposed to be. Why can't we have both? Why can't we have a person that actually represents what we really need from a value and from an economic perspective and what America needs, which is one of the reasons I like DeSantis. And I want to look at all of the options before I obviously vote, because 2024 is a little bit of ways away. Why can't we have somebody that embody all of that and don't have any scandals behind their name? Real talk. Representation matters. Character matters. Business, economics, principles, policy, of course that is the most important. But if I can get all of that and get a person that I don't have to worry about the FBI is raiding their crib, I don't think that he's electable, in my opinion. I think that he's probably going to do more bad than good if he tries to run for office against DeSantis, because it'll split the vote. It'll split the vote. So, you know, that's my opinion. I think that, every single time that he jumps into the news, it's like hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. It's cool. Sometimes, you laugh at it. But at some point, you're like, what the fuck? Like, damn. We get on Biden about Hunter Biden, what he had on his laptop and doing business and over in Ukraine and all of that. It's the same thing with Trump. Like, his kids is like, what the fuck is going on over there? I mean, he got in office, if we just really want to talk about it, and then all of his kids, and he gonna say, yeah, we separating, my portfolio is doing it. Yeah, right. Bro, the whole Secret Service was paying to stay at Trump Tower. It was a finesse. It is what it is, yo. It is what it is. I wouldn't vote for him again if DeSantis was running. And it's not that I don't think that he has good policy, is that I think that a lot of the things that he's doing is too much of a distraction from the things that he is doing well and how it is that we can be successful within the economy. So that's my thoughts on Trump. Let me see what y'all talking about, y'all, in the chat. Somebody said, Anton, because the left will create scandals for anybody that consider their ideological enemy. Maybe you're right. Probably true. Has nothing to do with the fact that I still think that DeSantis is the better option. Listen, even if Trump didn't have any scandal, I still think DeSantis, the governor of Florida, is still a better option, regardless of whether or not they got it out for Trump or not. I think that DeSantis is the better option. And I just want people to start looking outside of whatever the narrative that's going on in society and start to think for themselves and have ideas or do their research based off of the entire field instead of just leapfrogging onto somebody else just because everybody else may love them or hate them, right? So anyways, I think DeSantis is the best option. I want to deep dive and I want to pivot a little bit. So shout out to Trump with the FBI raids in Mar-a-Lago. I want to pivot a little bit and I want to switch over to women before I get into the video, right? The video that I want to share with you guys. Oh, wait a minute. Did I lose it? Let me make sure I got this. Give me a second. I got to find it. Maybe this is an opportunity for y'all to get the likes up because the likes is a little low. But I don't think that Trump is electable. I don't. I think that it's too much of a distraction from the things that we supposed to do. And it's self-inflicted. And so if I'm just being absolutely honest, if I got to vote between him and somebody else, I'm probably going to vote for somebody else. I can't believe that I can't find it. I had it. Here we go. All right, let's kick it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Ooh, they almost made me mad. It's like, yo, I just had this. Ladies, I'm curious. See that nice African queen right there? Y'all see this nice African queen? I got a question for y'all. Would you work in an Amazon warehouse just to get pregnant? Would you work in an Amazon warehouse just to get pregnant? I'm curious. Women are pulling graveyard shifts and back-breaking jobs to pay for IVF. Do y'all know what IVF is? Let's deep dive into the story a little bit, and then I'm curious, and then we're going to jump right into the next video because I actually want to get into something a little more entertaining, but I think that this is a representation of what we're dealing with in society today. So it says, by the time Rebecca applied for the job at Amazon, she was willing to do literally anything to get pregnant. The problem was money. Broke and pregnant. Broke and trying to get pregnant. I guess my first question before I even deep dive into this, and let me blow this up a little bit. My first question before I deep dive into this is, if you broke, should you have kids? Now, I'm not talking about creating a working class society because I need somebody to serve me my Starbucks and work on my Amazon packages and make sure that they get delivered to my crib. I'm talking about the mindset behind the person that's getting pregnant. You know you're going to struggle. You know you're going to have to work fucking 3 jobs. You know that you're going to have to find a partner instead of a husband. Should you be broke and getting pregnant in the first place? This sounds like a struggle love. I am absolutely positively against struggle love. Okay. Said the problem was money. After 4 miscarriages, that sounds like a sign to me. Sound like a sign. She and her husband already had spent more than $10,000 on donor embryos, medication, and a few IVF transfers. Neither of her jobs, she got 2 fucking jobs. Neither of her jobs, hers at FedEx. Oh no, neither of their jobs. I'm sorry. Hers at FedEx and his in the military offered insurance that covered the treatments she has needed since she's been diagnosed with PCOS, a hormonal condition that can lead to infertility. The couple even resorted to selling some of their stuff, like a chainsaw and a moped, to help with payments. Last fall, when a doctor suggested further testing that would cost yet more thousands of dollars, she knew she needed another solution. Shout out to Persevere Data TV. They say do it the old-fashioned way at the Chrysler plant. Look what they're willing to do. Check this out. 24-year-old joined the Facebook support groups where she found out women who took jobs at Amazon warehouses for the first-rate fertility benefits. Said this could be her last hope, she thought, scrolling through posts about how the company covers at least 2 full IVF circles. The work seemed grueling, but she only needed to survive a few weeks to foot the bill in testing, and how bad could it really be? So, what she said was, I want to get pregnant so bad, and I found out through a Facebook group that Amazon is willing to pay for 2 of these cycles, but all I got to do is survive for a few weeks in order to get there. In October, Bell started working overnight shifts at a North Carolina warehouse where she spent 10 hours on her feet sorting packages before lugging them onto a cart that could weigh up to 200 pounds at the end of her shift. She was getting her ass kicked. Soon she began feeling a searing pain in her legs that became so bad that she could barely stand. Then she'd wake up in the middle of the night with a jabbing sensation in her hips, which a doctor later diagnosed as bursitis, a condition that causes swelling around the joints. Belle took painkillers to give herself a pep talk, said keep pushing through, there's no other option. After a week of agony, she took 1 week off. She took the next one off, and then she quit. I know I shouldn't be laughing. I shouldn't be laughing. Why is Anton laughing? Because this is the difference between men and women, and this is why women will never be equal to men. Kevin Samuel said it best. Pressure is made for shoulders, not hips. Her man was chilling. He said, listen, I'm in the military. I ain't got time to be working Amazon overnight. This chick was getting her ass kicked. Could not stand for 10 hours pushing a 200-pound cart. She quit. that baby was not enough for her to continue going down this path. Said it was enough time to both cover the necessities testing and make her feel like an 80-year-old woman. It's terrifying, she says. It's like we have great benefits, but we're going to break your body. No, you're going to get your body broken because you don't truly understand what men went through for this entire generation. Women don't understand what it takes in order to be a man. Now, men do these things every single day. How do I know? Because I coach some that actually have done it. Men do this junk every day. Women are not built to be men. So whenever I say, yo, we not equal, that's actually a benefit for you because I'm telling you that you are not built for being able to do the things that men do in order to survive, in order to build this world, in order to make sure that their family is taken care of. We will practically kill ourselves if the person that we're with is on our team to make sure that they're taken care of. After doing the math, their only option may be to take a second job, often a second job at one of the growing number of companies with utility benefits. While Silicon Valley behemoths like Apple and Meta were at the forefront offering these perks to their white-collar workers who often pull in six-figure salaries, a growing list of corporations, including Wayfair, Target, Starbucks, and Amazon, now offer lower wage workers. So, do you want to run in the Victim Olympics and get your basket weaving degree, or do you want to actually get something that the rest of us then benefit from as a result of just being awesome and doing the thing that's best for us that would long-term benefit us? But instead, now you got to have struggle love. Now you poor and you working at Amazon trying to get your fertility benefits and you can't even survive for 2 weeks. You're not built like that. Helping navigate the pros and cons of each insurance plans are TikTok accounts and Facebook groups where mostly women shepherd one another through the fine print, offering tips on how to survive long shifts. Look, women are helping each other and giving them tips on how to survive long shifts. Compression socks are a must. Get coverage while doing the least amount of work. Apply for medical leave. These hoes is literally trying to finesse the system. They trying to finesse the system. They're trying to finesse. Look at this. Get coverage while doing the least amount of work. Apply for medical leave. In some cases, they post on behalf of male partners, but the majority are looking to get hired themselves. These online networks like Amazon Page with more than 3,000 members or 9,000 person strong Starbucks group that feature a sonogram of a latte sipping fetus as this cover photo are gold mines for anyone looking for leverage, looking to leverage a company's insurance. It's hard out here for these hoes. I spoke with 14 current and former Amazon warehouse workers, all of whom applied exclusively for the benefits. Most said they were in constant physical pain and mental distress. Let me highlight that. Constant physical pain and mental distress during shifts on which they spent 10 or 11 hours on their feet picking up or inspecting packages. Nah, ho, get yourself up in that warehouse and bust them packages down just like men do every single day because you want it to be equal. You want the benefits. You want to do it. Get in there and sort them fucking packages and make sure it's at my doorstep by tomorrow, or if I'm in a certain environment, you might be able to get it to me the same day. There was a nursing assistant, a marine biologist, both of whom put their careers on hold for the coverage. Others pulled double duty, working graveyard shifts before turning to their day jobs as teachers and mail carriers. The very work that will pay for your fertility treatment may well be the kind of work you should be doing when you should not be having fertility treatments. Spokesperson for Amazon said that while the company does have evidence of women taking warehouse jobs for IVF coverage, Amazon know you out here. Amazon know that you want them to try to pay for your fertility treatment, so they're going to bust your back out. Blow that back out. Persevere Data says, so you want to be gangster. Amazon know you trying to finesse them, so they're going to bust that back down. It encourages employees to use all available benefits. She said Amazon's offers a variety of flexible shift options that any employee who's pregnant or trying to get pregnant can be accommodated consistent with the recommendations they receive from their healthcare providers. Long story short, get in here, get that back blew out, and let me make sure that I bust it down. Despite the dangers to their bodies, many of the women I spoke with said they felt handcuffed to Amazon. It often seemed like the best option in a country that doesn't treat the desire to give birth or choice not to. When did we become entitled for anything or to do anything? When did we become entitled? When did it become the country's burden to ensure that you can afford to be able to have a kid? Why do we keep running in the victim Olympics, and why do we keep leaning on this female perspective? I got an interesting story. I was in an environment this one time at band camp, and this chick, I said, yeah, man, because females and this and that and so on and so forth. She said, don't call us females, call me a woman. I said, bitch, you a female. What the fuck you talking about? What do you mean you don't want to be called female? That's actually a degradation of who we are as women. So we can't call you a female no more? We got to call you Scherzer, and we can't call you female anymore. I've never heard of such a thing until recently. Are you telling me women are saying that we can't say female anymore? I'm telling you. Listen, look it up. Look, I'm not the only person. It's a thing. Robert Madison. I know chicks that say the same thing. They claim female is degrading. I've never heard of this until recently. I fucking hate this place, bro. I hate what's going on out here. Chad the Great said, there's no such thing as free money, give and take. I have never heard such a thing in my entire life. A woman told me that I can't call women females anymore. Look, feminist here says, I ran into that before, but the same individuals call men males. Right. Better You says, they literally not built for it. A lot of women working in those jobs, bodies break down. Our bodies built to carry loads different. Stay in your fucking place and you won't find yourself on the outside looking in. They literally are telling me that we can't call women females anymore. That's enough of this. I don't even want to see this anymore. Enough of this story. I got my point across. My question is, when are y'all going to start giving in to who you truly are as far as being a female? When are you going to give in to your natural state of what you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to be moving so you can get the best out of life? Ladies, I want to get into how I spent my first million. But ladies, let me give you a little bit of advice. Your strength and your superpower is in your femininity, not in your masculinity. Whenever you try to be like me, I can't stand. I got to use one of my friends as an example because I love her, but she know what it is. Q is a guy's dream because, and I'm not talking about Q as far as how she look and nothing like that. I'm talking about her mentality, right? Because Q will pay for herself. She will pay for you. She will approach a man and all of that. But when me and Q was out, right? Q be trying to take care of the bill and pay for stuff. And I told her, I sat her down. I kicked her ass. Y'all don't know how I be dealing with Q. I deal with Q, right? And I kicked her ass and I said, what are you doing? And she said, what, Anton? What's going on? I said, don't you know it's an insult to me when you sit here and you grab the bill before I can get it to make sure that you take care of it so that shut all that shit down. Then she relaxed and her shoulders went down and she was just able to enjoy and chill in the environment and all of that other type of stuff. And let's be clear, Q is, like I said, she is great. She is awesome. She's a great friend. She's loyal. She's helpful. She's phenomenal as a woman, but maybe she just didn't know. And so it took me, and I dealt with her a little bit more aggressively. And I said, what the fuck is you doing? I said, don't you know it's an insult to me when you sit here and you grab on the bill? And she's coachable. Because the minute after that, The minute after that, she was like, okay, you know what? You're right. Ain't had to deal with none of that ever again. All she doing is chilling, focusing, having a good time. She'll walk behind me because she knows that I'm going to the door and make sure everything is straight before, her and Rita walk in. Your superpower is in your femininity, ladies. It's in your femininity. Real men ain't going for that shit. Now, because I'm an equal accountability partner, right? And I got equal smoke for men and women as far as trying to push them to become the best version of themselves, which is why I hold them accountable in the first place, right? A lot of times women will feel like they have to do more, but in reality, they just have to do more of what women do. We don't need y'all to be us, right? At the same time, you need to align yourself with a man that will put you in place, not because he's trying to check you, but because he's trying to help you to understand of how you need to move more effectively as a woman. Your superpower is in your femininity. Don't be so quick to reach for the check. I said it. Real dudes will put a woman in her place, but at the same time, we understand that when you out with us, we're not expecting you to do nothing except be a woman. Rita has never touched a fucking bill in her life unless she wasn't with me and she paid for, her food or whatever. No woman that goes out with me touches money, bills, any of that. And I don't care where we at. I ain't just talking about going out to dinner. I'm talking about going out in general. If you're out with me, you're covered. Now, you may have to go home to a dusty and have a completely different conversation. That's not my problem. But when you're out with me, any woman that's out with me is covered. They're under my covering. And so I expect you to operate as you should. I expect you to be Rita. You have the same covering if you with me as Rita does. So I expect you to act accordingly. Don't ever fucking reach for my bill. Don't ever freaking, let me stop. But no, real talk. I'm just telling you. Y'all superpower is in your femininity. So lean into that and everything works out. All right. I want to get into this part of the show. Y'all need coaching. You need coaching. I'm going to fix you. One person at a time. I'm going to get into the show. Shout out to KO. KO says apparently female equal B. Clown world. Nah, not when they with me. They move a little differently with me. So I'm gonna get into this video, and it's how I spent my first $1 million. All right. NFL athlete. We gonna break it down. I like to span through different things. We do CNBC Make It. We do. The only thing I haven't done, and I don't think I'm gonna do it. I can't do CNBC. Well, not CNBC. Cheapskates. I can't do cheapskates. I can't. It's just too broke. I feel like that junk is going to affect me and get on my skin somehow. So I'm mining through. This is GQ Magazine's How I Spent My First $1 Million. Let's get into it, y'all.
Bro, my littest place was Miami. I'm not going back there ever again for a while. Life's good, can't complain. What's up, GQ? It's your boy Jamar Chase, aka Uno. I'm gonna tell y'all how I made, saved, and spent my first $1 million.
These NFL players, the NFL money is a little bit different than NBA money and baseball money. Baseball and NBA money is insane. The NFL contracts, a lot of times they're not guaranteed. So it's a completely different conversation when it comes to, how it is that they're managing their money effectively. So I have not seen this video. Somebody sent it to me. So I do want to get into this.
I'm from Harvey, Louisiana.
This is going to be good. He's from Louisiana.
On the west bank of New Orleans. It was cool growing up there. I was always in between Harvey and Gretna, staying by my grandmother. My first job, I didn't get paid though. So it wasn't really a job. I did it just for the fun of it. I was working at the snowball stand in Pebblewalk, giving out snowballs, candies. And then I also worked at a concession stand at Oakdale Playground. I was broke, man. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't had nothing. So the first thing that I bought with my own money was some Allen Iversons, some Reeboks. That was my first pair of kicks I ever bought, but majority of my money just went to straight shoes and sneakers. So
shout out to Roger Marine. Roger Marine says, with my BS in cybersecurity, I am offered 130,000 to 330,000 every week. They're offering this every single week. Hey, Roger Marine, tap in with me, bro, because I was on a call with somebody that make $400,000 a year yesterday, and I was giving them some tips on how they can double that. It blew their mind. Tap in with me, Roger Marine. The Uncle Tom says, I may not have Anton money, but my wife haven't either, nor the females around me had to pay for anything. Nah, listen, the Uncle Tom, you dope, because it ain't even about having my money or anything, because this dude's that got more money than me, right? Don't make me better than anybody, but what it does is I've been like this since I jumped off the porch. If I can't afford to go, or if I can't afford to cover everybody, then I'm not going to go at all. But I understood the assignment. You know what I'm saying? The assignment was to make sure that everybody is taken care of under my covering when I go out. So shout out to you, to Uncle Tom and your wife. Let's get to it. The one thing that I want to say about this, though, is I think that growing up poor or growing up in certain environments can help and hurt you depending on how it is that you go about looking at it, right? It can humble you in that it puts you in a position where you feel like, well, I done already been through the worst, so everything that I'm doing now is points on the board. It shows your humility. It humbles you. You truly know the meaning of what money is, or, having opportunities, and it's not as fleeting because, it's more meaningful because you come from nothing. You know what it feels like not to have. So to have can be a humbling experience. And this is not with everybody, but this is just, my assessment. On the flip side, though, because you're not used to having anything and you don't understand how money works, it can work against you, and that you're not financially planning for the long term. So let's continue to get into the video.
that was the main thing I was trying to grab. Man, LSU was probably one of the best experiences I ever had, actually. I had a blast, man, honestly. The coaches, from the teammates, to family and friends all coming. So it was just a great time to be a part of LSU. And the time I walked through those doors, they took good care of me. If we're being honest, I didn't really want to go to school. I don't think no athlete do. But, you know what I'm saying? I went there, and I used to say, I'm only here for football sometimes, so.
He said, shout out to Brock. Brock says, shout out to the Louisiana natives. Harvey and New Orleans is basically right next door to each other. And Biloxi is like an hour away. So I usually fly into Biloxi, go on a party in New Orleans, and then drive back. So because I ain't trying to get caught up in no stuff. But shout out to everybody down in Louisiana. He said he went to school just for football. He ain't cared nothing about none of that. He said most athletes. Now, here's the problem. That works for him because he's a fucking anomaly and he's a monster, right? But that don't work for everybody. So every athlete that's going to college, they have a unique opportunity to put themselves in a great position or to learn as much as they can. But he was like, yo, I just went there just to play football. I ain't give a fuck about nothing. I was just trying to get into the NFL. And that's dangerous. It's good for him, but it's dangerous for everybody else because these dudes get washed out and then, you got to come and pick me up in your Uber.
That was my main goal, was to make it to the NFL. The whole experience was, it didn't feel real. Like, it was so real. It just felt fake, man. And then it happened so fast. It was all of a blink of an eye. So I really wasn't at the draft for more than 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? So I tried to wait to hold my tears back until I got back to the hotel room. I did that, thank God. So I just made sure I showed the little happy side. It was a fast process. I flew out to Cincy.
He's a humble dude,
the next
bro.
day. Everything just went by real fast.
He's incredibly humble.
You can see the details of my first league contract right here.
Let's look at this contract. All right. Drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals as the 5th overall pick in 2021. So he's only a year into the NFL. No injuries. This is his rookie contract. This is his contract coming out of college, okay? 5th overall pick in the 2021 NFL draft. Received a 4-year, $30 million contract, $30.8 million contract. It's a lot of money, right? That's the equivalent of $7 million a year. 7 and some change. 7, 14, 20, 20. $7.5 million a year, basically. Let's say $7.6 million a year is what he make. $7.6 million a year And on top of it, he basically received 20 M's. $20 million signing bonus. Now, the thing that they don't tell you a lot of times, ladies and gentlemen, is that first you in a top tax bracket. So everything that he's making, cut it in half. It looked like a lot of money on the outside, and it is a lot of money on the outside. After 4 years, he'll been and made $50 million plus. That's a nice chunk of change. It's no way that he should have to survive. After 4 years, he should be set for the rest of his life, and then everything else he can do whatever he wants with it. This is what I would tell him as a financial advisor. If I was a financial advisor. After 4 years, 50 M's gross, he should be set for the rest of his life. Here's the caveat. Let's just say he got 25 now because of taxes. And then let's just say you got to pay 5 to 10% for agent fees and lawyer fees as a result of negotiating the contract. That's another $5 million. You already went from $50 million to $20 million without even playing a down, without making a purchase, without doing anything. You've already went from $50 million to $20 million. Ain't that crazy? The government get half. Because you in Cincinnati, the state get a piece of it. The agents and the signing fees get a piece of it. And this is $4 million. So now you're down to the equivalent of $5 million a year, from $50 million to $5 million a year take home. That's what they don't teach you. They don't teach you financial literacy. They don't teach you how to go about doing things more effectively. And so this 50 M's that he got for 4 years, and he got the lump sum, the signing bonus, 20 million. Just right off the top. No houses, no cars, no gas money, no friends, no relatives, no none of that, no stunting, no nothing. 20 million right off the bat because you're in the top tax bracket and you got to pay your lawyers and you got to pay your agents and all of that.
We talked about how I made my money. Now we're going to talk about how I spent my money.
This is the fun part.
Yeah, so the first thing I bought was my mom's car, okay? That was about $65K, got her a Mazda. My pops...
I guess a Mazda is a Maserati. So he spent $65,000, which I think Maseratis are trash cars because all they are is souped up Chryslers. He spent $65,000. The first thing he bought was his mom a car. Usually what athletes say is they buy their moms or they family cars and houses. So he spent $65,000 right off the bat for a Maserati.
Came to me about it. She been having an Audi, and the Audi was like real bad. The air stopped working in it, so she's not about to try to ride around in no hot car. So got to get her a car ASAP. It's like a midnight black with red interior Mazda. It's real nice. Already came stocked, so I ain't paid no extra. She was crying, like tears of joy. So that was good to see. She made me start crying.
So every person's dream is to take care of their mother. He don't even sound like he from Louisiana, but let's continue.
Then I got myself some jewelry, 50K on that. Got me some grills, chain, watch.
Jesus. Yo, this is nothing but the rapper's blueprint. This dude is humble, and I actually like him, and I hope that he actually is going to say something that's smart after he get done making himself feel good. He said he bought his mom a car and then he went and got some jewelry. He didn't say I bought no real estate. He didn't say I invested in the stock market. He didn't say I even bought no cryptocurrency. He didn't say he put money into nothing. He said I bought a car for my mom and some jewelry.
Couple bust downs, so got my chosen piece.
No, don't get the bust down. Listen, I was telling Kevin Samuels this. When Kev first started getting into watches, I had a conversation with him and he said, Anton, Give me the brands that you think makes the most sense. And I was telling them Petit Philippe's, APs, and Rolexes. Stay there. You also will be safe if you go with a tag. You can go with, a couple of the brands, whatever, so on and so forth. But stay away from all of this other crap and never put a diamond, never alter whatever your watch is. Always, he said it's not even a car. It's not a watch no more. The watch is devalued because y'all put a bunch of diamonds in it. Always when you buy assets, keep it stock. Never buy a depreciating watch or any kind of jewelry unless you just want to stunt and have fun and you get money like that. And you get money like that, so I guess he can do what he want to do, but I would never put any kind of customization on my watches.
One of one, chosen one. Got Uno at the top of it. Created real royal. Jason of Beverly Hills. Got this from my guy from New York, actually, out here. Emerald cut diamonds, difference. And the bracelet just came when.
Look at that piece of shit.
And
again, he's a nice guy, but
out of getting in love with.
That's a piece of shit watch.
With jewelry, so shout out to Jason. If I get another jewelry piece, I might get a big Cuban or something like that. If I'm looking up to anybody, like with jewelry and clothing wise, it would probably be Fab.
No.
For sure, because Fab really just do everything, all of the above. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot of different styles, so, Fab.
Listen, y'all go to Watchfinder. Go find you somebody that you can look up to that understands and appreciates nice timepieces. They can tell you everything as far as the history of it. Matter of fact, I got a book in there. Let me show you. Get the lights up. Anybody that comes to my place, one of the first things that you see when you walk in or where you sit down on the couch is this. And this is what they give you when you buy Rolexes and things like that. And so there are certain pages that's earmarked. This is how I knew that I wanted my presidential, right? It's right here, except for I got the champagne dial and I wanted the slats on it. So I have certain pages that's earmarked of watches that I already have on order. Trust me, you'll be getting those soon. But you never want to, and it tells you the history. It gives you the breakdown of each watch that's in the collection a day. Rolex has different watches that are coming out and things like that. This is one of the watches that I'm actually coming up with next. It's a Sky Dweller, but it's a specific chocolate Sky Dweller that I'm getting. So anybody that understands jewelry, it ain't about a bust down. It ain't about a Cuban. It ain't about the diamonds. It's about the actual heritage and the appreciation of the watch. And if you don't understand what a timepiece is, then you need to start following other channels. And this is the stuff that's in my algorithm. I don't follow fucking rappers. I don't follow a bunch of these other things. I follow things that can educate me or people that can educate me on the heritage behind why things came to be and why, hey, this particular astronaut wore this watch on the moon and this particular race car driver, it was engineered just for that. And this is why they race in this particular car and how it came so popular, because I understand my assets before I buy them, because I know that they appreciate over time and I can enjoy them because I understand the history and the heritage behind it. Having a nice watch is culture, right? We don't have to do the things that rappers do. We don't have to do the things that entertainers do. We can do the things that give us a little bit more insight so that we can make more informed decisions. And not only can you enjoy and appreciate it, it goes up in value over time. But when you're making uninformed decisions, which I think that he's a good guy and he's a humble dude, and I hope that as we go through this video, he actually gives us better insight on how he's spending his money. I think he's wasting it. He's wasting it, but he's young. He's young and he'll get probably more money as he goes along. And then hopefully he becomes more informed on how he can make better decisions.
Once somebody I'll be looking at the most.
Oh, Jesus.
Next, I spent another $50K on clothes. Had to start coming with that drip, that sauce, that melon, that swag.
No.
So another $50K on clothes. I don't really have a stylist. I just go to somebody like I shop to.
On clothes.
I got a different.
I ain't heard no investments. I ain't heard no stock market stuff. I ain't heard none of that. Christopher J says, good morning, people. Shout out to the Bag Chaser. See y'all in Detroit next month. Remember, this guy is a kid. Hopefully he'll grow out of this. Correct. Which is why I'm not necessarily killing him, but I'm using this as an example. And shout out to you for the super chat. I'm not trying to kill him. I'm trying to use what he's saying to give y'all some information on how you can make more informed decisions, because y'all gonna be rich, especially my bag chasers. A lot of y'all done doubled and tripled your income. And I don't want you to then take that income and do some of the crazy things because you can increase your lifestyle. I want you to make more informed decisions. Make investments. You reduce your tax burden. And then you can also start to use what you make from those investments to start buying the things that you really want. You don't want to start. Jesus Christ. He need to call me. Yo, call me for a coaching session, fam.
A couple people that I talk to all the time. So they just send me, all the stuff they get in new, and then that's when I pick. Got some Off-White G-Nights, the Trophy Room 5s. I got some real limited edition kicks, so that's just some stuff, I always wanted, so I had to go get that.
All right, so we 165 in the hole, and we ain't went nowhere yet, all right? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Next, I spent about maybe almost a rack on tattoos. I got a portrait of my grandmother. I got, her birthday right here. Last Supper on me. Loyalty over betrayal. I also got one on my rib too, so I got a couple tattoos.
This is stressful.
I try not to copy tattoos, man. Tattoos are already permanent.
This is
it's
very,
hard
very
trying to come up with your own ideas of tattoos. But growing up, Odell was definitely the main person. And then I started looking at Jamal Adams, because Jamal Adams got nice tattoos.
Oh, okay. He spent $1,000 on tattoos, not $10,000. All right, but it's still, the problem is he only $166,000 in on his first million, and he make a lot of money. But again, stressful, because I would like for him to actually invest in himself.
Yeah, so next, I made sure I look out for my brothers and sisters, gave them all $15K each. Made sure, they took care of all their needs, cars, anything they needed. $15K for my sisters and brothers. I didn't really know how much I was gonna give them at first. I was gonna give like 5 to 7, but them getting that much just randomly, what I'm saying? I feel like they would splurge and get rid of it quick. So I just end up doing $15K each, so they could, actually put some aside and spend some too. So, just want to help.
Ain't nobody put none of that money aside. Jesus, this dude is $211,000 of his first million. And see, the problem is, and shout out to IH. IH said this is why many teams have veterans on the team to school the rookies. Some of the veterans is out here doing dumb junk too, though. Listen. He gave them 15 racks each out of his first million, which it doesn't mean that they're going to put it up. It means that they feel like more is coming because he's just now getting his feet wet, and they're going to have an appetite that's wet to continue to get the bag from him. This is horrible. I'm very stressed out right now. I'm very, very stressed out. Thank you, Brock, for continuing to support the platform. I appreciate you for the fireball set. Pass, I love checking in. This is very much stressful. This is very stressful. This is 211. All of the things that he's done up to this point is not good. That's all bad.
Next, I got my mom's crib. Paid the house off, so that's officially her house. We own it. That was about $100K. Making sure the house is paid for, the bills are straight, so we can have somewhere and have a family crib. We've been in it for about 5-6 years now. It was just a house that.
But that's crazy though. He only spent $100,000 to pay off the family house. And where? He must be in Louisiana. Gotta be in Louisiana, because I don't know anywhere where you paying off, unless it's only like they already had a mortgage, because if he bought a house, he said they've been in it for 5 or 6 years now. So they had to have had the house. And so that was what they was mortgaged. And so that's probably what they owed. $100,000? I'm glad that he actually paid the house off instead of buying a new house, but that seemed a little low.
She wanted it, what I'm saying? And she already made adjustments to it, and we was having a lot of hurricanes. I think we had like 2 hurricanes came back and messed up the crib. So, I don't
understand why anybody build in Louisiana.
Making sure everything was good.
Place is going to be underwater in 10 years, bro. Louisiana is not a place that I would ever buy a house, bro. That place is...
Rookie dinner. I paid for a rookie dinner the whole season this year. So I spent we had 17 games, so you could do a little bit of math. I spent probably about $1 band every game plus tax, so that round up to about $20K.
Hope you're writing that off.
rookie dinner.
Hope you got
prom on 12 and Italian
business
prom.
and you actually
Those two
was taking
spots
them
was
out to
always
talk
the spots
about
I was
that.
always going to.
Who on the team spends the most money when you guys go out?
Tyler Boyd, off dump.
Jesus.
Appreciate you. He basically like the older brother for us. So basically he do the clubbing and I do the food.
And see, this is what I was telling you. The OGs ain't no better. The reason why the young guys is acting like the old is doing what they doing is because they acting like the older guys. And the older guys is out here in the club messing up a check, messing up the church's money. And then the young guys come back and they do the same thing at dinner. So he spent $20,000 on food for the team dinners, which is at least a rack per outing. And the OG is over there getting bottles and in the club and throwing all of the money up, and they out there spending money too. We got to do better. We got to do better, y'all. This is bad. And I really, really like this young dude because he seems so humble, but we got to do better. This is so sad. And we get money, and then we don't actually own any fucking thing because the only thing that he actually bought worthy of something was he paid off the mortgage. All of that money is gone so far.
Had any crazy bills. The only bill that I had was like $5K for the rookie, for like another rookie dinner that I did, but that was about it. So I passed like that. Next, I got me something to ride around good in. Got my dream car, a little Wraith, double R. That came up to $300K.
Jesus. And he paid cash for it. Listen, yo, he bought it cash. He bought a Wraith for $300,000 cash. Boy, that boy need a coaching session so I can tell him how to be able to finesse that, get it right off and everything. He is messing up the bag. Oh my fucking God.
Nice double R with orange interior seats, fur carpet. You know what I'm saying? So it's worth it. I've been wanting that car my whole life, honestly. It was either a Wraith or a Ghost, so I went with the Wraith. After my pro day, I went training in Miami at HOA, and Jarvis Landry
all I see is $100,000 that he invested
Wraith
so
all
far.
the time. And he had some nice 4Gs on it, man. So when I seen that, I was like, yeah, I gotta get that whip. You know what I'm saying? I gotta add that to the collection for sure.
Jesus Christ.
Next, I wanna get a Porsche. I want something with two-wheel drive. I don't know if I should call it a play car, but that's what I'm gonna call it. Tech R 911 maybe, something like that, just to have some sporty and fast. I really try to go for something I like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really go for the style. My favorite car is like worth $5 million right now. Like, I'm not getting that shit. It's like a Bentley with a drop top, bro. It's like brand new. So that's something I want, but I know I ain't gonna get, so.
That's the first thing that I've heard him say that was actually wise. And again, you got to understand that these guys are young, but the problem with this mentality is that the shelf life of an NFL player isn't that long. So even when I seen somebody in the chat that said that his OG in the NFL is 25. So you got kids leading kids, and the shelf life of most NFL players is very low. And so when you're being influenced by people that you consider an OG that's only 25 because he probably only 19, 20 years old, you spent $100,000 of $1 million and the only thing that you actually have to show for it is the $100,000 in Louisiana that you paid off for the house. So he probably at $500,000-$600,000 in, and he ain't bought not one asset. The watches and the jewelry he bought depreciate. Car depreciate. Ain't even a business expense. Clothes drip nothing. All gonna be gone. Next year it's gonna be trash. Because it's going to be a new style in. $15,000 a piece for all of his friends and siblings and brothers and sisters, gone. Car, Maserati, wasn't even a business expense, done. It's done. It's bad. It's all bad. And the thing is that, yeah, you could say, well, it's only $1 million so far. This is the first million. This is probably a reflection of how the rest of the millions are going to go. Because you don't change, you just become more of what you already are. AL says he only spent $1K per team meal. That's actually not bad. I heard other athletes were saying they had to pay $70,000 in one meal. Got to feed the offensive line because they're the ones that protect you. So, yeah, I mean, you know, if you got to get hazed a little bit, then spending $20,000, that's probably the best thing that I've seen.
Yeah.
600, over 600,000 so far.
The rest of this, I saved, just put it away, make sure I have it for a good day with my family, friends. Something that's real important down the line.
Jesus.
Saving your money is way better than spending it. You don't know how much you're losing when you're spending, so try to save is better. I'm excited to have all this in front of me, but I'm gonna be more excited when I see all of my money in front of me, you know what I'm saying? So this was definitely a goal of mine to see $1 million in cash, and got a chance to do it.
The problem with what he just said, he said he took the other $300 and something thousand and he saved it, right? So most people would say, oh, Anton, sounds good. But again, this is why you need people in your ear that can actually help you grow your money. So A, he didn't say invested it, he said saved it, which means that the money is diminishing in value every single day. And then B, you didn't hear the other red flag. The other red flag is that he's saving it so he can make sure his family and friends are taken care of. Humble dude, nice guy, actually a very, very talented NFL player. Don't know if he's going to get injured next year. Shout out to Niner Blue says, reach out to Shaq, Emmitt Smith, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Serena. You have many examples of right decisions versus wrong decisions. He needs to contact them. Nah, because everybody, why would they contact him? He said he put up all of the money to make sure that everybody else is taken care of. And then in addition to that, he's saving it and not investing it. Nice guy. Bad way to spend $1 million. They say his advisor is Bishop Whitehead. So again, 50 million cut down to probably less than 20 million just off of taxes, lawyers, agent fees, and all that other type of stuff. And then he spent his first $1 million, and the only thing that he owns as an asset as a result of that, or an appreciating asset, is that he paid for his mother's house. And he only spent $100,000 to pay off the mortgage in Louisiana. We got to do better, y'all. We got to do better. And again, I think he can do whatever he want to do. What does tag me in mean, and how do I do it? Means, yo, coming in and taking over so that you can give more insight and information on how to be successful. We need to do better, y'all. And this is why we need people like me and several others that's doing it really, really well, so that you can, Richard Fain is one of them. He's a former NFL player. So that you can help yourself live the life that you want to live for the rest of your life. You make the short-term sacrifice now, you do what you have to do, and then you can do what you want to do for the rest of your life. That's the move. That's the method. So listen, I think that we had an absolutely phenomenal show today. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for tapping into the Millionaire Morning Show. Make sure you stay focused. Link to the Patreon is in the description, as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Align yourself with a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going in. We got a Patreon exclusive meetup next month, Midwest. We also got the Build a Business that's going on live streaming this weekend. I got a video, it's Patreon exclusive, that's releasing today or tomorrow. And we got all of the content that you unlock when you sign up to the Patreon. Tap into the Discord, align yourself with a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going in. And if you need to get in contact with me, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com, and we're going to get you set up. I love you. I appreciate you. Stop fumbling the bag. Be great examples for the people that come after us. And do not ever in your life step outside of who you truly are, because, ladies, your femininity is your superpower. I need y'all to do me one more favor before we get up out of here. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. Thank you for everybody that hit me with super chats, cash apps, PayPals, holding me down, supporting the platform. I love you guys. I appreciate you. For those of you that love basketball, Fight Club tonight. We talking basketball, NBA basketball. I'ma holler at y'all later.